Ladies and gentlemen, we are a couple days removed of the Oscar nominations being dropped, but then again, we're also a couple days removed, a few weeks actually removed of the actual event, so it doesn't matter that I'm a little bit late on this. It doesn't matter at all. No, of course not. I don't care, but we're going to talk about some of these, not all of them, because frankly, the Oscars in general, is like nobody really cares. If it wasn't for Oppenheimer, Barbie, some of the controversy surrounding Barbie that we're going to be talking about here, because that's the only thing that really matters. And the fact that Oppenheimer got more nominations than Return of the Goddamn King kind of turns my stomach. From the people that watched it, said that it was a tremendous piece of artistry, some of Christopher Nolan's finest. Fantastic. But what's ultimately catching all the stick? Well, to say I'm surprised be a massive overstatement. To draw the parallels that this is a simple continuation and something that also led to the overwhelming success of a certain film last year and then trying to carrying it on to bolster additional support, I think that's maybe a little bit more accurate. Oppenheimer leads the Oscars in nominations, which were unveiled Tuesday morning. So we're a week late. Yeah, that's not all that bad. The film nabbed a total of 13 nominations, followed by Poor Things with 11. I've heard things about it. Not poor, actually. Decent things. Killers of the Flower Moon, which is Scorsese. The only thing that I've heard about that is long and boring. And Barbie with 8. Barbie. Yo, man. The Oscars is desperate without telling me the Oscars is desperate. You wonder why the NFL was focusing so hard on Taylor Swift for 2024 and will continue to make her a central highlight to the upcoming Super Bowl. They want single women to watch and they want their money. That's why Barbie got nominated for 8 Academy Awards. It's not good. It's really not good. All 4 films will compete for Best Picture of the Year, which is atrocious, but whatever. Along with American Fiction, heard good things about that, Anatomy of a Fall, don't know about that. Holdovers, Maestro, Past Lives, and Zone of Interest. But yeah, all that stuff. Okay, but I think what we're most concerned about is, yes, what the hell was that? Anyways, the high-profile snubs, including Leonardo DiCaprio. Interesting. The rest of his castmates basically got nominated, including, Scorsese for director and then for Best Picture, and Greta Gerwig. That's a bit of a misnomer. Because, okay, she's obviously going to be up there as showrunner for Best Picture. And then also she was nominated for whatever reason for Best Adapted Screenplay. So, yeah, she's got nominated, but she didn't get nominated for Best Director. But yeah, as you can see, Best Picture, okay, Barbie, whatever, who cares? It'll probably go to Oppenheimer, justifiably so. If you basically want a spoiler list on this, okay, just take a look at what ended up winning the Golden Globes. Okay, so Best Picture, Best Directing, Best Actor in a Leading Role. All went to Oppenheimer. Highly likely to return because, yes, stop doing that because Christopher Nolan ended up getting, tapped for that, and justifiably so. Every aspect of that film, both in front of and behind the camera, looks to be masterfully executed, so very justifiable. Best Actor, yeah, Cillian Murphy. I think he won the Golden Globe on that one, so highly likely for that to be an echo of things to come. Best Actress in a Leading Role. Yes, of course, there was one snub that they didn't mention, and Margot Robbie wasn't nominated for that, but she's also a producer on that, so she would likely end up getting a portion of the Best Picture Awards. So, yeah, interesting. Best Supporting Actor Role. Oh, yeah, and Ryan Gosling. Ryan Gosling got tapped for that one. Interesting. Best Actress in a Supporting Role. Then you got Barbie, for America Ferrera. Just in case you didn't think that all of these nominations for Barbie weren't politically motivated, America Ferrera, her entire purpose in being in that film was delivering the cringy, despicable, lack of self-awareness, hyper-political, feminist, wet dream speech about how hard it is to be a woman. That's the only thing that she did in that movie, and she got nominated for that. And how all of the coverage in the aftermath of Barbie not pointing out the fact that, wow, a lot of people are thinking that this is parody for how poorly that it's written. Wow, America Ferrera, she really delivered that very powerful speech. But yeah, there's Greta Gerwig nominated, so I don't even know what they're completely and totally butthurt about that one. But the only one that I also want to mention at the same time, and something that I touched on as well, was, of course, Best Visual Effects, Godzilla -1, shout out to the king. But ladies and gentlemen, this is all about the reaction because it's not good enough that trash film got 8 nominations. It wasn't enough that it's nominated for Best Movie of the Year. It's that a man got nominated when 2 women didn't. Unbelievable. The victimhood on this one. It's a perfect representation of feminism in 2024. Don't you agree? Woke mainstream media outlets melt down over the Academy snubbing Barbie in the Best Actress and Best Director categories. Well, they don't deserve it, okay? How many people were actually talking about Margot Robbie after Barbie? Everybody was talking about Ken, the America Ferrera's cringy speech, or exactly what in the blue hell were they trying to say with that film? Nobody was talking about Margot Robbie. She was only used in the promotion when that very organic, a very authentic post of her being shown without makeup was put out there, and somebody had the audacity to say that she looked mid, ended up trending multiple days in a row, and everybody was talking about it. No, of course not. No, not at all. And it's not like what we're seeing out of the Academy right now to just try to spurn attention for its, floundering event. By seeing how many people want to talk about Barbie and look at all the snubs that are there. And what's Ryan Gosling going to do on this? Well, we kind of have a bit of an update on what he was talking about. Might as well get to that. But Barbie star Ryan Gosling addresses Greta Gerwig and Margot Robbie's Oscar snub. To say that I'm disappointed that they are not nominated in their respective categories would be an understatement. So yes, you have somebody that was the talk of the biggest movie, financially speaking, of 2023, has to go ahead and kind of self-flagellate and then lift up women at the same time. Yeah, interesting. An Oscar nomination. Oscar nominations were made in their made known to the public on Tuesday. Mainstream media outlets and social media users have expressed their discontent after Barbie's Margot Robbie and Greta Gerwig were not recognized by the Academy in Best Actress and Director categories. Addressing the situation, Ryan Gosling, who received a Best Supporting Actor nomination for his role as Ken in the film, issued a statement expressing his disappointment in the Academy snubbing Robbie and Gerwig. I'm extremely honored to be nominated by my colleagues along such remarkable artists in the years of so many great films. But again, who is his competition? Sterling K. Brown, Robert Downey Jr., who won the Golden Globe, and Mark Ruffalo. It was a pity nomination. They're like, well, we got 4 really good performances, and I guess we kind of got we got room for a meme one. So if we throw that in there, that would be great. And I never thought I'd be saying this, but I'm also incredibly honored and proud that it's all portraying a plastic doll named Ken. So way to diminish your role, okay? I feel like if Sean Penn back in, the early 2000s would just come out and say about his nomination, I'm incredibly honored and proud for my portrayal of an absolute retard, and I am Sam. I am so happy I got afforded this, and I never thought I'd be able to say that. Then he posited, but there's no Ken without Barbie. There's no Barbie movie without Greta Gerwig and Margot Robbie. I just also wonder, and am waited with bated breath of 2025 when the Snow White film is written by the Academy Award nominated Greta Gerwig. I just wonder how much she's going to be a part of the marketing on that one. But we do kind of have an update, and that might be coming out here very shortly. But I don't want to spoil anything. But Ryan Gosling being a blithering cuck isn't exactly anything new. But somebody else who also talked about the Barbie situation is, of course, somebody else who cannot go a single day without making a big news story all about them. 2-time failed presidential candidate. Oh, I love it. Hillary Clinton offers condolences to Greta Gerwig and Margot Robbie for Barbie Oscar snub. It can sting to win the box office, but not take home the gold, like how I got beat by Trump. How nobody wants to give me the nomination for 2024. That's great. Yeah, for the Barbie sequel, I look forward to her playing decrepit Barbie. That'll be very fun. But let's see these meltdowns that are out there, because that's what I really want to talk about. On Tuesday, yes, the Academy made the Oscar nominations public, with the notable snubs, obviously, rubbing even more salt in the wound of the woke mainstream media outlets crying over the Academy snubbing of Gerwig and Robbie. The film received 8 nominations in total, which you would have thought, wow, for a plastic Barbie or for a plastic doll movie, that's awfully good. But nope, it's never good enough. Actors Ryan Gosling, America Ferrera, Best Supporting Actor and Best Supporting Actress categories, respectively. Other nominations received for the Gerwig-helmed film include Costume Design, Music for I'm Just Ken, and then also What I Was Made For by Billie Eilish and Phineas O'Connell, Production Design, Writing, Adapted Screenplay, and Best Picture. Yeah, maybe costume design, maybe one of them goofy-ass songs, production design. Maybe that's what you deserve, but Like, come on, man. Nobody can objectively say that this was like a good movie or an award-worthy movie. Like, just stop it. Enter woke mainstream media outlets who seem to have been taken offense to the Academy for having decided not to nominate Gerwig and Robbie in their Best Director and Actresses category. Some even attempting to argue the box office success should equate to recognition of talent. Ungoddamn believable. I seem to recall it wasn't even that long ago. Okay. Actually, there's two different waves that I can think about where the best performing films at the box office wouldn't even come close to Hollywood. You can take a look at some of the legendary misses of all time when it comes to far more profitable films not taking home Film of the Year. I don't think Avengers Endgame won Best Picture of 2019, by the way. And 2009, did Avatar win Best Picture? No, I didn't think so either. Or how in recent years, at least in the past 5 years, Hollywood's been handing out their golden statues to a bunch of art house films that you couldn't strap me down to a chair, One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest style, and, force me to watch this stuff. Yeah, I don't think so. Los Angeles Times, Glenn Whipp decries, no, not again, attempting to argue 4 years after being overlooked for her work behind the camera for Little Women. The Academy Director's branch again slighted Gerwig, this time for Barbie. You'd think making a movie that grossed more than $1.4 billion in the box office, earned ecstatic reviews, and launched 1,000 think pieces would have merited a nomination. No, the film sucked ass. That's why there were so many think pieces on it. It's like, is this a joke? Like, how can somebody write something so bad, thinking that you put out one idea, end up being interpreted by so many other people in different aspects? Like, how do you do that? People magazine's Benjamin Van Hoos wrote Greta Gerwig was left out of the best category, director category, while star Margot Robbie was absent from the best actress category. Further arguing, despite helming the #1 movie of the year at the box office, Greta Gerwig was not recognized in the directing category. Yes, that's what not getting nominated would end up indicating. I agree. Detroit Free Press, Julie Hines lamented that Barbie was not getting as many nominations as Christopher Nolan's critically praised, critically and commercially, by the way. Because that one almost made $1 billion. Like, come on, okay? You are definitely recognized in films that, made substantial marks on the box office, okay? Which landed 13 nominations, declaring Oppenheimer leads the overall tally with 13 nods, followed by Poor Things and 11 at Killers of the Flower Moon with 10. Yeah, we know. But Oscars blew it to you, blew it! To relieve the 2023 face-off. Relive, whatever. I think relieve is a little bit more important, or appropriate rather, because I feel like taking a shit in the aisle on this one. That had us all excited about movies again by giving Barbie only 8 nominations. You don't deserve it in the other categories that Oppenheimer got nominated for. Yo, man, what best actor category could you go ahead and give Barbie? You can't. It just doesn't qualify, like, just empirically. And then subjectively, your movie's ass, bro. Go to hell. Barbenheimer at least deserved a nominations tie. Yeah, because that's what we're dealing with right here. At the end of the day, this is just another extrapolation, kind of like the Pal World video that I just released, rather. Also just recorded. It's a little bit behind the curtain stuff. You're not entitled to anything. You have to put out a product that people like, that your peers, that critics respect, and then you can reap those benefits. If you don't qualify for those other 5 categories that you missed out on, sucks to suck. Why wasn't Oppenheimer also nominated for best music or for best original song? If you wanted actual parody, you would have been asking for that. You would have been asking for 2 nominations right there so we could relive it in the best song department. But no, you just want to whine and complain into the ether. But I take a look at those publications that these woke-ass think pieces are coming out of. Detroit Free Press, People Magazine, the Los Angeles Times. Aren't all of those publications also laying off massive numbers of people? So if another equally woke piece of garbage ends up permeating the theaters in 2024 and gets nominated for a bunch of crap, we won't have to at least hear the screeching howls of these harpies next year because, well, they'll be unemployed and nobody's signing up to your Substacks. So with all that said, thank you all very much for the gift of your time. I've been Don Consuelo. I want you to follow your gut and get after it. Take care, everyone.